I like this title, Dear Black America, and then Dear America. But let me address Black America first. So what I want to say, what's on my heart. First, I want to thank LeBron, for opening up that school and for doing everything that he done. If you don't know what he did, he opened up a school that started 3rd through 4th grade that actually is longer than normal school days and actually started earlier than what the school year is supposed to. The reason why 3rd to 4th grade, that is when they start to look at 3rd and 4th grade test scores to determine whether they should build enough prisons or not. That's where it's all generated from the test scores and stuff like that. So that's why he did what he did. That's just one reason and what he went through and everything like that. But in the school, parents can get their GED if they don't have it. The students get a bike, they get transportation, like 2 miles an hour or something like that. And also, there's a food pantry and everything like that. And they help the parents get a job and everything like that. That's positive. So Genesis 50:20, it says, what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn for good. So what that means is, all the hardship and everything. LeBron said, if I had to went through what I went through, I wouldn't have did that. Imagine if we did that more than just at school. Like take the top, like all the people, the celebrities, the athletes, the lawyers, the people in power, entrepreneurs and rappers and all types of people have came together and we put something together and we did something positive, because we sitting over here and we waiting on the government to take care of Flint, Michigan. What if we were supposed to take care of it? Yeah, the government could do some things, but we ain't got to wait on them. I mean, you see one person and you saw what he did to actually fund this school. And then on top of that, watch this. He is auctioning off one of the shoes and then you can put the people's name on there. Because people going to auction the shoes off and all that money goes towards the actual school. But not only that, he's giving away $41 million because if the kids graduate the school, then you automatically go to college for free. So let's look at the water crisis of Flint, Michigan, right? So it started in 2014. It's now 2018. This is from Wikipedia. The drinking water source for the city of Flint, Michigan was changed from Lake Huron and the Detroit River to the cheaper Flint River. Now understand that the water that it was coming from, the source it was coming from, it was treated. Due to the insufficient water treatment, lead leaked from the lead and the water pipes into drinking water, exposing over 100,000 residents. Now watch this. Supposedly in 2020, all lead pipes are expected to be replaced. Water contaminations contain coliform bacteria, THMs, lead lesions disease outbreak. 6,000 to 12,000 children were exposed to lead. Now, understand this. Four firings happened, 5 suspensions happening, 15 criminal indictments happening, 12 people died from the disease. Now, 2016, January 5th, this is the governor. This is the guy that they said should be fired or whatever. But he declared a state of emergency. Isn't it interesting that a state of emergency was demanded 2 years later? But let's look at it like this. What if we got together and we did that? And see, understand, like in LeBron James' school, that's why I'm talking about Black America first. It was blacks and whites together. See, this is what Martin Luther King was trying to tell us about us going together. And when people want to be like, black power, and I have no problem with us. But my thing is, there is only one race, the human race. Now, there's different ethnicities, and things like that. But what if we came together? I'm talking about because, some people say, oh, I hate white people. I hate white people. But there are some good ones. Like there's some good white people and there's some bad white people. There's some good black people. There's some good bad people, bad black people. So we can look at that all across all the ethnicities that we have. But imagine if we came together. Now there's going to be ones that are going to help us. And that's what we need. This is what Martin Luther King saw. And even with LeBron James school, it was multicolored. That's how it's supposed to be. Like I have no problem with, black pride and black power. But, we got to go about the right when they want to do things by ourselves. But just imagine if we begin to do stuff in a positive way, the way Martin Luther King did it, because at the end of the day, he got his own day. I mean, think about it. This world, as racist as it is today, was more racist back then, but he got his own holiday. Well, let's look at Proverbs 19:7. 19:17. It says, when you give to the poor, it is like lending to the Lord, and the Lord will pay you back. That's GNT. Matthew 10:42. And if anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones, because he is my disciple, truly I tell you, he will never lose his reward. Psalm 72:13. He will have compassion on the poor and needy and save the lives of the oppressed. Proverbs 28:17. Whoever gives to the poor will not be in need, but he who hides his eyes will receive many curses. So this is where, then I address America. Like, everything that's happening is happening for reasons and things like that. But what if we all came together for what's right for everybody, for this country, that everybody still continue to try to run through, there is ways that we can handle things better. This is why everything is happening, because people are being exposed. We are seeing that certain leaders are not who we thought they were. And then also some leaders are being raised at the same time, because we need people with backbone. We need people that's going to stand for what is right, for everybody. Somebody that's going to lead the people in the right way. And we need this all across all walks of life, all the way down from the president to the cabinet, to Congress, to lawyers, to judges, clergy, all the way down there. We need people in political office. We need to remove people that is not about, that's just not about their selves. But that's why, people go through things so you can help others. Like I said, when God elevates me, I want to do things like what LeBron did and things like that. Like there's something like, back in my hometown, where I grew up in Farrell, Pennsylvania. So I want to do something there. But I was born in Chicago, so I know I got to go back to my hometown where I was born, But imagine if we got all the, if everybody just put in just a piece or whatever they could put in, and we just distributed and help people, and we did things, we wouldn't even really need the government. I mean, the government can do what the government does, but we can do things ourselves. Like he did it himself with a school, and he partnered with the college to help that out as well. So now they don't got to worry about that, because there's people, they tell you, education is the key. You get to college, and then you get a degree, and now you got 100-some thousand in student loans. And what happens? They expect you to pay them loans in 6 months, meaning 6 months after that, then they start charging you. And then the payments are ridiculous. Like, and how do they expect you to live or anything like that, or to have a life? All they care about is getting what it is. And then on top of that, they still generate more interest in things like that, man. There's definitely things that we can do better. Maybe this would probably just be part one. But like I said, imagine if we came together. And I do believe, we can. I know some people are like, I don't think we can. Like, we can. Like, for the first time, if you look at Black Panther, I'm talking about positive stuff. Black Panther, for the first time, this movie was not bootleg. Might have been bootleg after, but everybody went to go see it. Everybody went to go see Black Panther. Because all we got to do is channel the money in the right way. That's why it's, it's not coincidental that everybody that thinks it's happening, or things that can be, boycotted or whatever like that. Like, think about it. Like, I mean, even with what Madden did, the Madden video game did, with taking out Colin Kaepernick and stuff like that. They know what they're doing. That's why they had to come back and apologize. Think about it. But like I said, for the first time, everybody went to go see this movie. And some people were saying, like, and just look at ignorance has no discrimination against education. Let me say that again. Ignorance has no discrimination against education. Because some people were like, well, look at all the Black people that go see this. First of all, it was not all Black people that went to go see that movie. It was all different people that went to go see that movie. And that's one thing that Black people do, Black America does. They set the trend for certain things, But imagine if we channeled that money to where we needed to go, to rise up and, to help people from all walks of life. That's what it's about. It's about helping all people. It ain't just helping just one ethnicity, or one race, as some people, may understand or whatever. But imagine if we did that together, and that's what we got to get to, praying for people and stuff like that, because I do believe that we can do better. And like I said, I've seen signs and hopeful, and things like that, and it's hard when there's so much stuff coming, but, we got to see the positive out of everything. Like, no matter what situation it is, in every negative situation, there's always something positive you can come from it. So as I always say at the end, love y'all. God bless.